Hello, one and all, and welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one, I'm here to talk about Robert Whittaker and Robert Whittaker's possible plan for facing Khamzat Chimaev. But before getting started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. My previous video was a video that I dedicated to what I think is Khamzat Chimaev's plan going into the fight against Robert Whittaker. This one here, I'm doing the opposite. Robert Whittaker's plan to facing Khamzat Chimaev. A lot of the stuff was pretty much explained in that first video. If you haven't checked that one out, you can check it out. And what the main point of that video is that if Khamzat Chimaev decides to rush Robert Whittaker, then Robert Whittaker is perhaps, I don't want to say promised, but the likelihood of Robert Whittaker knocking out Khamzat Chimaev is very, very high if we were to compare, let's say, Robert Whittaker's power to a Gilbert Burns, which gave Khamzat Chimaev a very difficult time. And if Khamzat decides to try and rush Robert Whittaker, then it's just there's only one way I can see this fight ending, and that's perhaps with a Robert Whittaker knockout. This may seem like it's an absurd statement to make, but these are all hypothetical scenarios. I'm judging my assumptions, because that's what they are, based off of previous fights for both fighters. And one fight that pops into mind that I think is the closest fight to Khamzat Chimaev, Robert Whittaker, is Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. Khamzat Chimaev tried to rush Gilbert Burns, and it almost cost him a fight. Matter of fact, Gilbert Burns almost put Khamzat Chimaev away on at least one occasion in their fight. So you look at Robert Whittaker. Not only is Robert Whittaker the bigger guy that fights at a heavier weight class, which by definition, you would have to assume that it's Robert Whittaker that has the stronger punch out of the two between him and Gilbert Burns. And one thing I can add on to that is Robert Whittaker's movement. Robert Whittaker is much better at controlling the space than, let's say, a Gilbert Burns is. All respect to Burns, but I think Khamzat Chimaev is in for a tough night if he decides to rush Robert Whittaker, and if he decides to fight fire with fire, as I mentioned in previous videos. So Robert Whittaker, I believe, going into this fight, he's going to try and bait Khamzat Chimaev to come forward in the way that Khamzat Chimaev does sometimes when he forgets to let's say, utilize all of his weapons and try to solely strike and take the opponent's head off. If he does that with Robert Whittaker, which I think perhaps that's, in moments of the fight, that's probably what's going to happen. Khamzat Chimaev is going to think he can put Robert Whittaker away, perhaps move forward too eagerly. And I think that ultimately Robert Whittaker is going to be waiting for the opportunity. When the opportunity presents itself in terms of Khamzat Chimaev being too eager, moving forward, and he can catch Khamzat Chimaev rushing in and put Khamzat Chimaev away. This is only one scenario, one possible outcome for this crazy fight that's getting ready to unfold. And I don't even think it's official yet. But this is a promise to be one of the fights of the year, if not fight of the year. When it does happen, if you made it this far, I appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments and like, subscribe for more.